Hello, welcome back, faithful viewer. We're back on Felucia after, taking this little detour to check out the DLC and the mission that's chronologically taking place in the story. I decided to go for this outfit this time, because why not? Right? I don't think it shows up in any mission by default. I don't think. If it does, then what you gonna do? Elements of this, the interesting part is that the hood, really. So first off, other than him blinding himself essentially with the hood covering his eyes and being pulled way over his face, it's like look how he wears it. There's a half of the robe on the front and half of it on the back. So the hood is like on a scarf, as if, and the scarf should be going down your chest, not around your body, but he wears it like this. And not only is the hood asymmetrical, it also blinds him, and it might be an interesting design, but it's also upsetting. Not because his eyes are covered and he's blinded by that, but just because he decided to wear it in the back. I wouldn't, and that upsets me only a little bit. What would you say it does? Taunts my OCD, the minute part, like minuscule amount of it that everyone has. But talking about this, mentioning this, speaking of it, I don't know, I can't remember the phrase. Anyway, check out my shirt to combat OCD. Right, Felucia. Again, we're gonna visit the dude, the big one, which is Sarlacc, and we're gonna look around what's going on in his life. In the meantime, of course, dealing with Imperials. Again, in the meantime, it's never really mentioned, so I can't really give you a time frame. Where is it this part takes place? I mean, when you're when you have been, after you've been betrayed and are supposed to be acting as a Jedi, I think, or just preparing the rebellion, whichever way you want to call it. I don't know the time frame. Essentially, well, actually, it seems like there should be years between when you were supposedly resurrected, because you've been blown into space. When Vader decided to betray you a little bit, or at least cover his own ass. So, seemingly years have passed, which is actually never mentioned again. Hold on, there might be a little bit of a problem here. I'll let you know, don't worry. Or you'll not. Well, have it slow down anyway. We're gonna have to talk about this too. No? Oh, perfect. Managed to get rid of that dude. It's like Dark Souls. Why would you defend if you can end the fight when the enemy has just a sliver of health left? This one? No. That combo doesn't exist. Alright. Someone's still shooting at me with some sort of missile projectile bazooka thing. From where though, exactly? Because I didn't notice. Right, anyway. What was I saying? Shit, well, this is not the best spot to be at. Is this a mushroom? How does that work? Oh, that's how it works. It's still weird. Oh no, don't attack me. Oh, it's homing also. That's perfect. It just turned around on such a sharp corner, or a turn, to just get me. Yeah, that seems fair. Right, so a couple of years apparently, because there was enough time for Ram Kota to be absent and then come back and also become a drunkard, right? There was time for that, but like I keep mentioning, the time frame isn't exactly clear when it comes to this. So then Bail Organa also trying to combat Palpatine in Senate. No shit, shouldn't kill me. Well, it just might. Get up. Wow, that's just unavoidable. He doesn't get up quickly enough. This isn't good game design. Did I catch? No. Shit. I could use a fucking... What is it? Not level up. Well, yeah, level up to just heal me for free. And this guy isn't called Death Trooper or Shadow Trooper. It's gonna say what it is once I defeat it. Shit. Come on now. Ah, perfect. Just managed to fucking stun him. Imperial... Well... Let's try to kill another to see what his name is. Anyway. Oh, that's perfect. Very helpful. Right. This time block worked a little bit. Let's give ourselves a little bit of space before he decides to try to grab me again. Purge Trooper is what it's called. It's a Purge Trooper. And it's a droid anyway. Why would you bother calling them troopers? That's like a... That feels like a human term. Like, what you should attribute to humans. I think my lightsaber is bugged right now because of the trail. There, I fixed it. Yeah, it was bugged. Right. So, maybe platforming and managing... Well, no, forget about that. There's a holocron there. Not only is it gonna be useless with all the possibilities I've got myself, but also the effort of getting him is gonna get me killed either way. Damn it, what was I talking about? Not my shirts. Help! Help me remember. God damn it. Well, enjoy the gameplay in the meantime, and I'll try to fucking remember what the fuck was I going on about. Well, shit. Also, he explodes and I'll never remember that. Sarlacc. No, not Sarlacc. I wasn't talking about Sarlacc, really. Not really. Well, shit. I can't remember, so let's change the topic. Maybe I'll just remember later on. Right, so, other thing I wanted to mention. I guess, well, I'm gonna be having problems with this. How do I get up there? This is just dumb now. I'm being a failure. Right, so let's talk about the slowdown. So I just experienced slowdown here, right? And you've seen it. But oh, perfect, that's what I wanted. An arena. Will I be able to go back and kill those two troopers? I don't know. We're gonna have to. Well, possibly. It seems because of the holocron. I think I know where I am, and I'll end up well dealing with this anyway. Looks like it. So instead of the troops firing at me, there's gonna be ATST shooting me continuously. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. No. I hate how you absolutely cannot cancel any animations. Wow, that was a weird graphical bug with the cloth. Anyway. Shit. Fuck! I mean, you know... Yeah, well, why not? Quick time events, right? So they show up from time to time, but there's an indicator that the enemy is vulnerable now. You just gotta judge it based on the health or damage of its health and damage, how much damage you dealt to it. So it's not like, for instance, God of War, when a massive prompt shows up telling you this enemy is now grabbable, and that's gonna be connected to, what am I trying to say? Involve, maybe. Quick time event. This doesn't, so you engage it as if a regular attack, and then you think you're gonna just mash through it, but no, you have to follow the instructions on the screen anyway. So the slowdown, and I talked in at length about all the issues that might be caused because of operating systems not cooperating with current software, or the other way around, current software not operating with older systems or newer systems. Ever which way. How do I progress? Map says this way. Do I just yeah. The bottom can just be blasted off. Not the top, no, just the bottom. Unfortunately, the top is lodged in, so it won't fall. Also, what is this? Disgusting. Look at all the spit and phlegm. Oh, don't touch that. Maybe I was talking about Empire or something? Because they came back? I don't know. Anyway. So the slowdown and... what is it? Goddammit. And operating systems, no. So what actually was going on, actually... Well, fantastic. That's absolutely what I wanted to happen. This guy's still alive, come on, be my projectile. Did I get him? Yeah, I did get him actually. Oh. I hoped I'll be able to grab him again and hit ATST with it. But no, it died. Also, oh, there it goes again with the quick time events. Either mash or not. There we go. But no, my problem wasn't actually connected to the operating system. It did actually, like I've noticed, happen at certain point in time and wasn't present all the time. Like, even just talking about playing this game on Windows 10. What it was is that I actually caught a virus, or how level 3 technician would call it, a virus. So I caught a walrus, and they wanted to make a whale out of me. What I'm trying to say is that it wasn't so much a Trojan or anything like that, it was a miner. Someone, I don't know where I got it, but someone infected me with a miner and was mining Bitcoin with my computer. The fucking nigger bitch, literally fucking stealing my resources like a nigger and taking away efforts and my processing power. Illegally at that, either way. Well, I mean, illegally at that too. So, by the way, if you're sensitive, I don't care. Right, so I actually caught it. I managed to catch it because it was like using my processor, and you know, it's annoying. I've seen a drop in performance in my programs and shit. So, you know, first thing you do is open your task manager to see what the fuck is going on with the processes. And I managed, at that time, I actually managed to catch it running. These guys are fucking active as always. I managed to catch it in act, and I've noticed a process that I've never seen before, and it's camouflaging as sound management something. The word sound should be there. From what I remember. So should I go this way, or should I go get the guys that shoot at me? Probably I have a freedom to do whatever I want, but... So yeah, nothing here, so let's go to the bridge. Because why not? Because why not? Jeez, there's so many. Let's do repulse. Oh yeah, also mention ATST we just fought. Have you noticed that it was being attacked by the plants too? Even the life on Corellia, the wildlife, and what you would call flora, is against Empire here, and the occupation or the evil things. You know, the usual nature is good and technology is bad because appeal to nature fallacy. Yeah. So there's that. Even plants attack the Empire. They do attack you later on after you're not that evil. Oh right, the time frame. But I'm pretty sure I actually finished that topic. So yeah, the plants attack the evil machines, because machines are evil and nature is always good. That's why we've got diseases like Wuhan flu. So that's clearly good, because it's natural.
Juno, I sense...
Oh.
I can feel the creature's suffering.
It's horrible. Is there any way you can lessen the creature's pain? Can you destroy those cranes that are holding it down, perhaps?
I can try.
Thank you.
Well, this is bugged also. Right, so they're doing something with Sarlacc. What are they doing with Sarlacc? I don't know. They're supposedly causing him suffering. Who the fuck cares? Not me. I mean, it's... I would call it a beast, because I can't say animal, because it's, you know, taxonomy and shit. It's a beast, it's not a plant. And, you know, if you know much about Star Wars, it doesn't go much, you know, it's not doing much movement when it comes to being alive. It just swallows anything that just happens to drop down its fucking maw. And apparently there is enough stupid creatures to fall into his maw to feed him enough to be spawning such large Won't be the term. Areas. Areas would be good enough. Large areas of land and underground too that grows to such sizes, and it's enough for it to not only grow but also survive. So it's weird. Maybe it has like a half parasite thing going on for it, where it's it does some photosynthesis too. I wouldn't know. Anyway, now care about Sarlacc's suffering. A bunch of tentacles are just hoisted up, and it looks like they had a part of it cut off. So how fresh is the wound that they're still suffering for it? I mean, you know, it's a weird creature one way or the other. So if I held your arms up, would you suffer a lot? Theoretically, you would suffer eventually, to some extent. But other than that, who cares about fucking Sarlacc? Does it even have a brain? Does it even have well, apparently it does, because Starkiller says it suffers. Does it have a capacity for suffering? Yes, apparently it does. It's dumb anyway, and I don't agree with caring about Sarlacc. I mean, look at this. You think it can handle itself? No pain, no gain, bitch. Fucking give this massive alien everything on a silver platter. Right. So let's go to that combine, that crane that does whatever it does. Right. So the time frame is enough for Kota to get to become a drunkard, and you and all this, everything to happen. Juno being captured, but apparently for long on Empirica, but for long supposedly, but also not for long enough to make it weird if she was captured on the ship for like years on the bridge. That would be fucking ridiculous. Oh, that's not what I wanted. It's fine. Hardly matters. I'm powerful enough to deal with this. Did I mention at any point that I definitely mentioned that as a Sith Lord you don't really need to use a lightsaber because your force powers are powerful enough and a surprise enough for every enemy that you would do just fine without this crude method of physical contact combat and also scheming, right? But I do play games when they're fun. I guess when they're fun enough. But we already talked about how this game might not be as good as I remember. This episode is all over the place, but maybe you like it that way. You love it to be a bitch. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. There, I saved you. I do play games where I enjoy the gameplay multiple times, essentially. Mostly when I don't have a new game to play, to keep in line with the entire fact that I prefer new games and I don't like repetition. But I guess sometimes even not the best game keeps you interested because the gameplay is good. And I think there's a game somewhere that I wanted to mention about the gameplay that I play the game for. Well, anyway, I'm sure we'll get to it eventually, or I'll get to it again sometime. But anyway, so Juno, was she for years captured and held on the bridge of Empirica? Yeah, I don't understand that. And what are the extents of our augmentations and whatever has been done to us to bring us back to life? I don't know. So anyway, we're posing as a Jedi, one way or the other. Oh no, fuck. And what will be the checkpoint now? Fuck! It should say about my mission. How's the 2 out of 3. Okay, so that should be... We're pretty much done. We just need to get back to the...
How could they?
Juno, are you seeing this?
Oh.
Yes, I have a visual. What could possibly possess the Empire to do such a thing?
They don't need a reason, but I'd wager that they're pursuing the last of the Felucians.
Master, Imperial schematics show that the central lift is powered by generators located on each of the crane platforms. Power up those generators, and the lift will be back online.
Right, so there's the dialogue we didn't trigger because we went around the trigger spot. So there's a little bit of an explanation here. How could they? like I said just a moment ago, who the fuck cares? It's an entire fucking Sarlacc. Like, no pain, no gain. I think he can handle this much of inconvenience. Fuck off then. But also the inconvenience is here for me that the enemies has respawned. Which is fucking annoying. Right then, anyway. I played this game a bunch of times because gameplay was good enough, I guess, even though I complain about it plenty of ah shit, the main objective is gonna have to be replayed. Well, how about I'll just cut and we'll see each other at where I am dealing with the last piece of the puzzle. Like, yeah, see you then. Right, we're back at the third one. It took way longer than it should have. So yeah, last generator and last tentacle, just for good measure. And I was having problems with cutting one tendril off, like the chain, because the lightsaber went to the left and it was catching onto the... hitting the walls essentially, so that cancelled the animation and I couldn't have gotten it. Couldn't get it, so I had to go to the left side. Also, the difficulty with this is that the whole place, I don't think it's the best design. It's all like, fucking hell, this slope is gonna kill me and I'm gonna have to do it again. Better not. So, the whole thing is like this grey and muddy and it's three-parter and it all looks the same. So it's hard to sometimes tell where you have been already. It's kind of shit, you know. Anyway, so the thing I was saying, with all this time frame and reference points of time, yeah, whatever that means. You don't know how long it was, but in the you've been to Kashyyyk, you've been to what is it? That junk planet, Raxus Prime, I think. We're gonna be revisiting that too, and also Felucia. And the Empire managed to set up entire operations in these worlds. Look, they built this, whatever this is, for whatever reason this is, in however much time we were absent. Because, you know, the biggest like time reference point is what's it called? The Jedi. Ramkoda. The biggest time frame is that he had to have time to be gone, reappear, and become a drunkard. So that's the big time frame. So at worst or at best, whichever way you wanna construe that, it would take the Empire like a month to like visit the worlds. That's just hyperspace travel, right? But then building things on them. It's like, how long does it take to build a building, and then also it's just a few buildings of that. It's not an...
Perfect. Juno, can you hear me?
No, she can't. Well, you barely can hear her, so you might as well assume that she can't hear you. And it was loud. What? So how hard is it to raise up just a few structures, like a building or two, independently on one world, considering you've got these like relative, well, futuristic, let's say, because it's not that it's modern, because it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Futuristic building techniques and materials. So how hard and how long would it take to build that? Also, we just took an elevator down into the Sarlacc. Remember when Boba got Boba? Yes. Not Jango, Boba. Boba Fett got eaten by a Sarlacc and he didn't figure out to just fly out, apparently. But then also he did. And we just have a lift down into a Sarlacc, because what are we mining out of a Sarlacc? His, what is it, digestive juice, stomach acid? Oh look, it's also alive, because its tendrils are like reaching for you. And no one really ever, up until this point I guess, bothered to actually trim them so they don't do this creepy shit. Can I go back? Yes. So they don't do this creepy shit, and considering you managed to hoist up 3 of his tentacles and shove a fucking lift down his fucking gullet, maybe that could have been a good idea. I mean, is the operation defunct at that? Also, is the operation defunct, so nobody is going through here again? So why were people stationed at the combines and generators to power the lifts? Because how fast would those little would that be called? Tendrils. Also, it makes noises because, you know, they all have vocal cords in here. Tentacles, tendrils, like, yeah. What I'm gonna stick with that. How fast do they regrow? Imagine that someone did actually trim them down, but that didn't help. So they just grew back in like a moment. Okay. Oh, well, okay. Hold on. There's something you can do here. This thing blows at you or tries to suck you up, so either way, it's an environmental hazard. I don't know what this generator does. Does it turn on the lights? Is it already on? Am I gonna find ones that are not? Dude, they just set up base in a Sarlacc. How stupid is that? What sense does it make? Maybe
You have to stay away from word digestion. Very dangerous.
yes, extremely danger. Maybe it's not stupid, but what is the rationale behind setting up a base in a Sarlacc? Because no one would find you there. There's a fucking massive shaft going down in it. Someone would get suspicious, I'd say. So anyway, let's finish up with the level 3 technician. Or did I finish it? Yes, right. So I opened the task manager to look at the processes or resources used, and I noticed a large processor use. So I'm worried, right? I think, what the fuck have I installed lately that it's wasting up so much of my resources and processing power? I was upset, you know, because the machine isn't that bad. I could upgrade the processor, but that's not to say it's not. It's like it's all right. It's not bad. So I'm thinking it was working just fine, just like a week or two ago, or a month. But yeah, it was a minor. So I managed to find it, and motherfucker is well fucking anchored in your system when you try to delete it. Because if you can just open the location of the file that runs the process, but registry entries also have it that it will keep re-downloading it if you won't fix it. Unfortunately, there is a tutorial how to fix it, and I did. So this episode seems to be going pretty well, even though I did have a few slowdowns, but very minor actually. So open up. Or do you make me wait? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm stuck, and I'm gonna have to wait for the diaphragm to open up again. No, it's fine. Hardly, Juno. Hardly. Anyway, so that would be good enough. We're apparently in the digestive system of a Sarlacc now, even deeper down, and we're not dying still. So what the fuck is going on? Why did Boba have problems? Maybe he's just incompetent after all. Everything he managed to have done up until any point in the story was just pure luck, I guess. Right then. So if you have problems with your processing system, apparently it's no longer that they launch Trojans and like those browser extensions and additional bars that just produce ads. They just directly attack your processing power for mining Bitcoin, motherfuckers. Right then. So we're in Sarlacc. We got these things out of the way. Next time I'll figure something out. Figure something to talk about. Don't worry about that. But in the meantime, of course, keep your wallet closed. Because, money falls out. And then where are you gonna find it? You need more of that. And so do I.